Welcome to my super cash channel, Emiliano Techs. I'm Emiliano and I tech. And it's not Emiliano Techs like TEX, like Texas. I'm from Oregon, so it's Emiliano Techs, TECHS, because I like teching. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the Elgato Stream Deck. I don't have anything particular to say about it, but I'm going to take you through setting it up the way I set it up. I had it set up already, and I did delete everything off of it just so I could do this video. The Elgato Stream Deck, if you don't know, is basically a bunch of buttons. You can't really see anything on it right now because there's nothing on it, but these are all buttons, and eventually you'll be able to see something on there. I have always loved tech that is a little bit off the beaten path. For my birthday, I got a $150 Best Buy gift card, and the Elgato Stream Deck just happened to be $150. I ended up buying the Elgato Stream Deck. One of the best $150 I ever spent, and I haven't even scratched the surface of it yet. All I had done so far is set up a few shortcuts, and I erased all that so I could start over for this video. The software is super simple. There's 15 buttons in the Stream Deck. There's 15 buttons on the software. Click whichever one you want to configure it. I'm going to start with the top left, open up the soundboard, and play audio. Say you wanted to be able to, at a push of a button, play a clip of Tommy Wiseau saying, "Oh, hi, Mark," because who wouldn't want that? So we just go to our file here, which in my case is the room. "Oh, hi, Mark." There it is. I have my speakers turned off. I just realized, but
"Oh, hi, Mark."
I'm literally going to put the sound effect in afterwards.
"Oh, hi, Mark."
So that was super easy. You can title it something if you want. It's called "Oh, hi, Mark." I like to title it OHM. I've only used a couple Elgato products so far, the HD60S and now the Stream Deck, and I have been so impressed. All their software has been really easy to use. The build quality has been fine. In reviews, people talk so much about build quality, and I get it. For some people, if you're, especially with video stuff, if you're going on sets, if you're doing jobs all the time, you really want something that's going to hold up. But I think there's a ton of us out there who are not very hard on our stuff, and to me, the build quality barely matters. As long as it can hold up to maybe a fall every now and then, that's fine. Yeah, all this stuff is plastic, but it's nice plastic. I would never look at it and think this is cheap stuff. But something you do every day. Go to a website, maybe Facebook. I know I'm old. I go to Facebook every day. I know. So let's put a shortcut to Facebook in. Okay, so under System, we've got Website. Just grab that, put it over here. Let's, we don't need a title. Let's URL facebook.com. All these things happen instantly. Bam, facebook.com, done and done. I could put a title in there, but wouldn't it be nice to just have an icon? Well, of course, it's super easy. Just click the plus button. Oh, that's for the icon library. Maybe click this drop down, set from file. You can also just drag and drop it in there, which is what I've done, which is why I did not know how to do this. So Facebook, bam, you have a Facebook icon there. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up, but now you can at least see that there's something there. Shortcut buttons. All my life, I have wanted shortcut buttons. My taskbar on my computer is hidden. If I want to see the time, I have to open that up. But I can put a widget on the Stream Deck that just has the time and date right on it. Check this out. Now, I do wish this button did something. That's my only complaint about this one. You can read everything nicely, read everything easily. It looks nice. So I'm sticking with this one. A ton of the features built in or in the plugins of the Stream Deck are streaming focused, and I will never use. Unfortunately, I can't remember what this plugin is, but it's under Custom and CPU, and it just gives you your CPU usage percentage, which is fucking great. I love having a widget like that that's off my screen. Even though I have a huge screen and another one, managing multiple windows on a single screen is just not good in Windows. Having widgets that are literally off your main screen or off both your screens, so I can have my timeline for a project up there, my main window down here, and then still see how my CPU's doing and press the button. You can't see it because it's up there. Click that, bam, task manager up. I don't know why this is so particularly exciting for me, but I truly have wanted more shortcut buttons for so long. One of the non-streaming reasons that I wanted to get the Stream Deck was honestly for fun. For me, it's a fun night to set up a piece of tech, to go through all the options, find out what it can do, and just have fun with it. But honestly, beyond that, I just thought this device would just be a fun thing to have. You could do soundboards, you could pop open a game of solitaire really quick. I don't know. I mean, there's so many. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm not even scratching the surface. I'm like waving a pin near the surface. I haven't even touched the surface. See, so there's all these OBS tools. That's God, I don't know what OBS stands for, but it's the streaming software, that the free open source streaming software that everybody uses, and it is great. MIDI, I wanted to see if I could interface with FL Studio through these MIDI plugins, but I haven't tried them yet. There's like note on and off, MIDI show control, text to speech. You could text to speech is pretty self-explanatory, I think. Oh, this is one I like. Clear all notifications. You know what? Let's go to the first page. I wonder how you move these to the first page. Ah, that's how. Perfect. That was easy. See, this software has been so intuitive. To move it to the first page, I grabbed it, dragged it down to page 1, and it just popped over to page 1. This will clear all your notifications here. I have a security alert for my email, and I have unseen notifications on Instagram, but I don't care about any of that, so I'm just going to hit this button. Clears all the notifications. Magnifier. Zoom in, zoom out, and magnifier exit. So at any point, zoom your screen, zoom back out. Just a few buttons, and multiple pages, multiple folders. You can just expand the functionality endlessly. You could make it so complicated that it would take you longer to do stuff on the Stream Deck than it would clicking through your computer, but that's probably not a good idea. This is another shortcut I will use a ton. Move application to monitor on left, and you can do left or right. In this case, I don't have a monitor left or right, but I have one above. I just hit this button. It's on the other monitor. Hit the button again. It's back on my monitor. Revolutionary to me. And I know you can do all of this through keyboard shortcuts. You can do all of this through software, mouse gestures, who knows what else. There's a million input ways, but the thing I like is having a physical unit that is right here, always on, always available, no matter what my computer is doing. I mean, obviously, if my computer is completely frozen, it's not going to work. But generally, no matter what my computer is doing, I can just pull something up right away. I love it. I love it. I'm just so impressed. I'm probably way more impressed with this than anybody watching this will be. Toggle desktop, that's another amazing functionality. Look at the desktop to bring things back up. Shutdown, I wouldn't put that on there because I'd probably accidentally press it. Cancel shutdown. Cancel shutdown, that's kind of cool. If you accidentally hit a shutdown, you just hit a cancel. You got some virtual desktop controls. I've never used virtual desktops, partially because they've been kind of annoying to manage with keyboard shortcuts. But honestly, I think I'm going to probably start using them with the Stream Deck because I can just have buttons that take me back and forth between my two virtual desktops. I'm not going to go in and set up virtual desktops right now while I'm doing this video, but there's a lot of productivity tools that I'd like to actually utilize well, and that's one of them. Whatever, I don't know. Oh, screenshot, capture full screen and save, another great shortcut. My screen recording software was not working for a second. Now I'm recording in OBS, a much more reliable screen recording software, and we're good. We're good. Let's just go from here. So one thing you can do is assign hotkeys. I've never really used macros or hotkeys very much. One of the reasons, again, is I'm terrible at memorizing keyboard shortcuts. If I can't see an icon visual representation of it, I will just forget it. It will just go out of my memory. Okay, let's do this. In Chrome, open a bunch of tabs. Fucking brilliant. Shit works so well. And that's the other nice thing is so far, everything from the Stream Deck has been extremely responsive. I haven't had like any lag. When you hit the button, it happens like that, which I really appreciate. Many of the options are streaming specific. So there's things like Twitter has a tweet option where you can put some text in, you can put an attachment, then you can just hit a button to send a tweet. It's not something I'll be using very often. Here's the other thing that's super nice is when you want more plugins, it's all built into the app. You just click that plus button, go to plugins. I haven't even looked at the Discover tab. There's probably, workflow hacks, monthly roundup, visual workflow. So Stream Deck MK2 faceplates, I have barely delved in, but it seems like there's a lot of community and a lot of crap going on with Elgato. I don't know why I'm saying it like Elgato. With Elgato, it seems like there's a lot of plugins, a lot of development happening, a lot of colored faceplates and all kinds of stuff you can get. Keylight Mini, that's what I want. Welcome to Stream Deck 5.0. Here's what's new in the biggest Stream Deck update yet. So there's actually useful information here. I mean, it's obviously advertising, trying to get you to buy more stuff, but it looks like there's probably actually a lot of useful info in here. Anyway, we can go to plugins. And there's quite a few. I don't know. I haven't explored it all yet if there's any plugins outside of this, like if there's any third-party apps you can load or anything. But there's like lighting plugins. So I think I saw a Philips Hue. Yeah, I have a Philips Hue control box, but no lights yet. Nano Leaf, those little leaf on-wall RGB panels. You can control your lighting with this, for effects in... I think the idea is, for when you're streaming, doing different effects in games, you can change your lighting, but I just think it's cool. And when you install a plugin, you're in plugins, you just click install here, you go over here, and it's in there. Sure, that's a screenshot. So I am going to replace that with a multimedia button that's next track, and replace this with a multimedia button that's previous track. Yeah, so now I got all my media controls right there. This is just so convenient for any computer user. This might be hard for some people to set up, but if you could help your grandma set this up, she could benefit. You could just put her favorite things on there and she could press buttons. $150, not that bad. I mean, obviously, for most people, buying a computer accessory for grandma for $150 is a little bit out of their price range. Same for me. It's going to always be there. It's going to always be right here, ready to go. And it's so cute. You can't see it that well, but it's such a cute little nugget. And it's a very clever design. I'll get some close-ups of this later, but it has an L bracket USB-C cord, so it goes in there nice and snug, or nice and hidden away. This is a very clever little stand. It's just a piece of plastic molded so that this sits right in the front of it. No other connection other than gravity. You can also set this on the desk there, but it is a lot nicer to have it propped up like that. Easier access, easier to see. I want to say Steam Deck every time. Other reviews of the Stream Deck I saw on YouTube had a way crappier stand with it, and that looked like a pain in the butt. So this is the MK2 version, and it has this very nice molded hard plastic stand that works amazingly. Like, look at that. That thing ain't going nowhere. So it's got a nice rubber pad on the bottom. You do have to remember to peel the plastic off the rubber pad, because when I first used it, I just set it down without peeling the plastic off, and it was sliding all over the place, and I was like, this doesn't seem good. I'm going to have to secure this down somehow. Developer tools. We'll display your public IP address. Let's put that on the second page. Yeah, it is kind of, well, I bet you can search in here. Oh, that's nice. I didn't realize there was a search bar in the Stream Deck software, top right-hand side. You can type in what you're looking for and it pops right up. So here we go. IP, my IP, pop it in there. It's just displaying my public IP. It doesn't do anything when you press it. And of course, there are tons of plugins for stocks and crypto and all kinds of shit like that. But that is not something I will ever use it for. But if you want it for that, certainly you can probably have all your stock tickers or see how much value your crypto is losing by the hour right there on your desktop. Beautiful. Not for me. I mean, this thing is so cool. It has games on the Stream Deck. I'm playing tic-tac-toe here. It's bonkers. XO. Man, I just kicked my own ass. Snake? I wonder if that's the XL only, probably. No. Holy shit, how do you do... Breakout is one of my favorite games. Please tell me Breakout works. Oh my goodness. It's terrible, but you can play it. Oh my god. Oh, and the screen capture software gives you exactly... Oh, that's beautiful. I can't imagine really playing any of these games, but for demonstration purposes, it's pretty fun. You know, and as kind of a proof of concept, you could... There's probably screensavers. I haven't checked that. I mean, there are screensavers. I had a screensaver set up that was just my desktop, but there's probably moving screensavers. You could probably get the DVD screensaver from The Office. I wonder how you quit. Oh, maybe just lose. One of the best integrations you can use the Elgato Stream Deck for is IFTTT. This is a very complicated website, although very easy to start out with, but you can make... I have made it way too complicated for myself many times, so I haven't touched it in a while. You're probably going to be able to tell when I edit back and forth because there will be different lights on the Stream Deck. Even though I've highlighted features that are for non-streamers, I would like to stream someday. I do play video games. Like a lot of other people, I got way more into video games in the pandemic. I did not have any video game systems growing up until I had some of my own money and could afford my own. My parents wouldn't let me have a TV in my room for a long time. So an Atari 2600 was my very first video game system. And then I had a Dreamcast. A PS1, I'm sorry. I got a PS1 to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and then eventually a Dreamcast for the same reason. Doing these videos, it can be annoying setting up and controlling multiple lights. I did not invest smartly, and I got multiple lights from different companies that don't really interface with each other, so you got to walk around and turn a bunch of lights on and off. The Stream Deck lets you control Elgato's lights. They make a key light and a ring light and I think a couple others. It would be really nice just to have light controls right here where I can turn lights on and off and not even have to open up an app on my phone. Sometimes when I'm making these videos, it really can just throw off my flow, even to just have to get my phone out, or sometimes my phone's sitting over there and I gotta go get it, and it can really actually be quite a distraction. I'm easily distracted. And so having a couple buttons where I could just flip these lights on and off would really make a world of difference to me. With the Stream Deck, if I had the Elgato key light as my third light, I could just have my phone out for my two GVM lights and control them, and then just have a tap here for my hair light. Probably that would be most of what I needed. Then if I needed to stand up and turn one or two things on and off, it would be a lot easier. I think I'm going to do that, actually. This is not an advertisement for Elgato products, but I am talking myself into buying more Elgato products. Elgato also makes a foot switch that you can use in conjunction with the Stream Deck or on its own to, start and stop, trigger events. I'm sure it's highly configurable. So I'm kind of bought in on the Elgato ecosystem at this point. Honestly, I'm kind of a fan. I've only used two products. Let me just back up. I've only used two Elgato products so far. The Stream Deck for one day, which I haven't even fully set up. I've only done what you've seen here. And I have used the HD60, the HD60S capture, which has just been nothing but great. I have no loyalties to companies. If they make a crappy product, I'm happy to say that. So let's see maybe one or two other things we can do with the Stream Deck. Toggle or set the active audio device is what I'm downloading right now, and that is so handy. So my computer I'm actually hooked up to a Philips TV up here as my top monitor, so it is an audio device that I can play audio out of if I just want to hear something on a crappy speaker. And I've got my Scarlett Solo USB audio interface hooked up to my monitors.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Okay, I'm going to check out this audio device toggle. Let's see if this works. I've got my Windows taskbar audio indicator up here. I'm going to hit my audio switch device. Oh, switch to the TV, switch back to the... I just can't even explain how impressed I am by this and how long I've been waiting for basically this exact product. Ever since I saw the Optimus keyboard, I thought that's a bit overkill? Why can't I just have a secondary part of my keyboard, like a number pad, that is that? And now I do, and it's more than a number pad. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Is $150 a lot of money to just have some buttons on your desk? Sure. If you are a person who does a lot of futzing on your computer day to day like I do, if you are a person who has a bad memory, if you're a person who's terrible at remembering hotkeys like I am, something like this is a godsend. Instead of having to memorize strings of numbers and letters and where keys are, I just look down at pictographs and labeled icons that show me exactly what all the buttons are, and they're all very easy access. I could have a couple levels of access. I could have multiple pages, folders on each page, so that you could have a lot of functionality built into this small thing while still having it pretty easy to navigate. You can change all your icons, you can label everything. Go buy a Stream Deck. This is an advertisement for a Stream Deck. Stream Deck, this is a preemptive advertisement for Stream Deck. Stream Deck, sponsor me. Elgato, sponsor me. Oh, drive info? This is fantastic. Let's see my C drive info. I'm just going to be continually amazed in this video. You'll have to bear with me. Info about my C drive here. It's 16% free. I need to clear up some space. 76 gigs. That's my SSD. I need a bigger SSD too. But that's fantastic. I'm going to put info about my D drive just because this is so fun. Drive info next to it. 10% free. Having a reminder that you need to free up some drive space on your desk at all times will make it much more likely that you will free up some drive space. I wonder if these do anything on a click. Let's see. Oh, they just bring up that drive. Of course. That's fantastic. Here's an endorsement for WinTools. I've only touched a couple of the tools in there, but man, just having drive info on your desktop, being able to pop up your E drive right there. You can start stop services. You can change your primary monitor. You can create a virtual desktop. I feel like I'm sounding like the crazy Russian hacker, just like, wow, that is amazing. Everything is amazing. I love all of this. Wow, I never seen anything like this before. Welcome to my laboratory where safety is the number one priority. Network card info. Oh, that's cool. You can set this widget or whatever button to your Ethernet and tell if your Ethernet is up or down. Oh, leave meeting. Oh my. The Stream Deck has just solved one of the most awkward pandemic issues. It has a leave meeting button on the Zoom plugin. Also, that opened my GeForce experience. That's interesting. I don't know why it did that. So, now I installed a speed test app so you can get a one-button speed test running. Like I had said earlier, one of the reasons I was actually interested in the Stream Deck was fun. I am having so much fun just setting this up, just discovering all the things. 262.7 down, 24 up. And apparently if you hold down the button afterwards, you get your web results. Fantastic. We are living in the future, folks. We are living in the future, folks. Is it for everybody? No, absolutely not. Is it for a lot of computer users who would like to speed up their day, open apps quicker, use shortcuts that are much faster than fumbling around in the computer? That makes it sound like it's going to be a infomercial person not being able to do something like, how does folder work? How do I, hello? Oh, I actually did not know that my keyboard had feet. Wow. I think I might be a black and white incompetent computer user. Just discovered something doing that. My keyboard has feet on it. And okay, here's the sad thing. The USB dongle came in the bottom of the keyboard, which means I pulled it out, which means I must have seen that it had feet. Also, what is this little? We need one more Stream Deck button thing just to fill up the front page so we have a full deck. A full Stream Deck. The other thing I haven't even mentioned with the Stream Deck is that a lot of these plugins come with a profile, and a profile is, well, that didn't work. I've noticed a couple of the plugins come with a profile that does nothing, but you can have multiple profiles that have different pages, again, extending the functionality into infinity. So let's put a folder, and we'll title this folder Pages, because we're just going to test to see if we can have pages in the folder. Maybe not. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. So it does not look like you can have pages within a folder. Unfortunately, you cannot extend the functionality into infinity, only near infinity. You can have multiple pages with multiple folders, and the folders can contain folders. So then you can really go bonkers. This is a game changer, and I don't say that lightly, and I don't mean it like it's a huge deal, but like for my daily computer life, this is a game changer. Life is good. I mean, I have all sorts of personal problems and mental health issues, but I have all this cool shit. So that is my not at all very in-depth look at the Stream Deck, but just a primer, just to explain it, show how cool it is, and really to explain what kind of a breakthrough I think this is for so many people. How many people will get so much daily usage out of this? Unfortunately, the Venn diagram of people who could use this and people who will be able to set this up, even though it's easy, is probably not a huge overlap. There's definitely an overlap where there's people like me and people a little nerdier than me and people a little less nerdier than me, or into tech or whatever, who will find this the perfect device to save them a bunch of time with computer usage. Like, if you set this up right and utilize it well, you could save yourself a ton of time. You could just be pinging around to all the different places you go to daily on the computer with one press of a button instead of a few clicks of a mouse. And it doesn't sound like much, but I think that it adds up to a lot over the course of a day. Not only the specific time that you're saving, not mousing around, but just like your brain function. At least for me, I know my brain function is better if I can just go direct to something. If I could just press a button and get there instead of mousing or scrolling. Something about the interface of scrolling and mousing around does not work nearly as well with my brain as just hitting a button does. So I think there's a lot of people who could use this and a lot of people who would really appreciate it outside of streaming. And of course, for any streamer, this would be an invaluable resource. You don't need it to stream, but I feel like if I was getting into streaming, this would probably be one of my first purchases. And I am going to get into streaming, and this was one of my first purchases for getting into streaming. So maybe the next video you see me in, or the next video I do, will be me streaming on Twitch or somewhere else, because I am very interested in that. I appreciate you watching. Right now I am trying to make 10 videos and just get them done. There's been a long gap between my first couple videos and this one, and I don't want that to happen again. I want to just keep producing and producing, even if it's not that good, because I'm a perfectionist and it's really hard for me to put things out into the world, and I just want to do it, and I know I'll get better from actually trying and doing it, and I know it'll be easier to put things out into the world if I just try and put things out into the world. And this has been some sincerity from me that honestly is really hard for me to achieve a lot of times, but I think sitting here in my apartment alone, just talking to a camera, even though I know it's going to be watched by hopefully thousands of people, makes it easier for some reason. But I want to get better, and to get better I just have to put myself out there and try, and I've known that for a long time in my head, but I'm trying to know it in my heart. I feel kind of embarrassed doing this wrap-up alone in my one-bedroom apartment. I just realized my windows are open. There might be somebody who can hear me saying my YouTube wrap-up, and that feels very embarrassing for some reason. Like I shouldn't be allowed to be a YouTuber. But you know what? I'm going to fight that feeling and say that I am allowed to be a YouTuber. And 3 videos makes me a YouTuber, so I am now. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Emiliano Tex, T-E-C-H, not T-E-X. I've been great. Have a good night.